Welcome back to day 7 of our self-improvement bootcamp. This is David Ricklin from selfgrowth.com. In day 6, we learned about the importance of paying the price. Today we're going to cover a very important area, persistence. I want to start this section out with one of my favorite quotes from President Calvin Coolidge. I actually memorized this quote a few years ago. He said that nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. I love that quote. My main area of persistence for me has been my internet business. I started it over 10 years ago as a hobby. I built it into a part-time business, and finally I was able to go full-time with it and started hiring employees. But I needed to be persistent. One of the most famous examples of persistence is Thomas Edison and the light bulb. If you've never heard the story, it's worth knowing. If you've heard it before, it's worth thinking and hearing about it again. Thomas Edison is best known as the inventor of the light bulb. In truth, he's really the inventor of the first lighting system. The first light bulb was actually invented years earlier, but here's the amazing part. During his career, he and his team had over 4,700 failed experiments before they were able to develop a usable and effective lighting system. It's 4,700. Now that's persistence. People like to say that Thomas Edison failed his way to success. He kept failing until he found out what works. He never gave up. One of the challenges with persistence is that we all know that it's important, but that doesn't make it any easier. It's frequently easier to just give up. I have a few tips that I can share with you on persistence. Some of these apply to all facets of self-improvement, but are well worth repeating. One important way to remain persistent is to be prepared. Try to anticipate all possible things that are going to go wrong and have alternative options ready to go. Things don't always go according to plan. If you aren't ready for these glitches or failures or setbacks, they'll slow us down and often stop us in our tracks. We need to persist past the setbacks. The more prepared we are, the greater our ability will be to keep going. One of my favorite quotes on persistence comes from the movie Batman Begins. I love this movie. In the beginning of the movie, Alfred the butler, everybody remembers Alfred, asked Bruce Wayne, "And why do we fall?" So we can learn to pick ourselves up. It's important to be prepared, even over-prepared. Often, people are under-prepared to take on their goals. At this point, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and give yourself some time to really think about how you can be better prepared to face the challenges in your life. Now, please pause the video. Welcome back. Another way to persist is to get a buddy and help each other to be persistent. This could be your spouse, your boss, a good friend, anybody who wants to help you achieve your goals. Your goals buddy responsibility is to keep you motivated, and your responsibility is to keep him or her motivated. I also mentioned the concept of modeling or copying successful people before. I recommended that you find other persistent people and see what and how they're doing it. Another effective technique is to write notes or leave little signs for yourself to remind you to be persistent. Leaving motivational notes around to remind you to stay focused and persistent really works. Some people use index cards they review daily. Some people use Post-it notes. You can even use apps to your smartphone or BlackBerry to keep you motivated. They really work. Another technique is to picture the final outcome. Ask yourself, what will happen if you're persistent in a particular area of your life? Other people use motivational tapes and books and videos to help them be persistent. Chris Widener, my friend Chris Widener, talks about one of the great motivators of our time, Zig Ziglar. Chris wrote that Zig Ziglar was once confronted about being a motivational speaker. The guy said to him, "You guys come and you get people hyped up and then you leave and the motivation goes away. It doesn't last. And then you have to get motivated all over again." Zig reminded the gentleman that bathing, it's the same way. but we think it's a good idea to take a bath every day. Persistence and motivation go hand in hand and need to be renewed on a daily basis. One final suggestion has to do with habits. You need to develop good habits of persistence to replace bad habits. Studies have shown that it takes about 21 days to develop a new habit. So for 21 days, you need to be consciously aware of the change you're trying to make. It's not easy, but once you develop a new habit, you're that much closer to success. My challenge for everybody watching today is to identify one area of their life that they need to be more persistent in, and then set up some specific goals to be more persistent in that area. Thanks for watching. If this is the first time you're seeing this boot camp, check out the links to the right to see the whole series. We'll talk to you again on day 8.